lights out, and away we go.
Pre-race news, we had the open test at Indianapolis for the Indy 500. The only interesting thing we got out of that was Kyle Larson crashed and Graham Rahal almost crashed.
Yeah.
And of course, perfect Palou, top stats. Yay, Indy 500 will be fun.
Wait a minute, I'm reading the summary of it. Scott McLaughlin was the fastest in the qualifying setup session. And then, and Alex Palou was good in the afternoon. And he and Felix Rosenqvist were the only drivers to be in the top 5 in both sessions, which is interesting. Cal Kirkwood was 3rd in the afternoon. Connor Daly was 4th. And Joseph Newgarden was 5th. And also Takuma Sato also made contact with the safety barrier.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I mean, he's a former winner, so it'll be interesting to see what he does if he makes the race. The only other interesting bit of news was the few Georgina jokes on social media and stuff, and they have her hanging upside down on the bridge. For those who don't know, a mannequin was dropped off one of the bridges and fell onto the track, and then the funny thing is they didn't throw a caution to get her off the track. Stingray Rob just so happened to crash at the same time.
Yeah.
And so there are a few callbacks, a few posters with her on it.
I watched that race and I thought an actual person had fell onto the track. And that was something.
Practice sessions and qualifying. The first practice session was pretty clean. The most interesting thing in the practice sessions was everyone pulling a Ferrari and going out on slicks on a wet track. Palou chose not to, as Mr. Perfect should, but it was funny seeing everybody else out there sliding around on slick tires on a wet track.
What did you expect to happen? Literally what happens when you have slicks on a wet track?
Marcus Ericsson had a spin and got the closest anyone has to flipping this season. It still wasn't very close, but more air than anyone's gotten so far. Will Power had a spin early in qualifying, but was able to bring it back for a top 5 start. Nolan Siegel topped the air of McLaren's, which for being a rookie, he's been doing pretty solid, I think.
Yeah, for a rookie, for sure. Really the Kimi of IndyCar right now, I guess. However, he's 20th in the rankings, so not really great race pace this season.
When it's there, it's solid. He just needs to build it up.
Right. You just gotta get comfortable with the car.
Good on the Seagull. We're looking forward to see what the Seagull can do going forward. Right. The race now. Very clean, which this has been crazy for the IndyCar. The only caution this season has been on lap 1 of race 1. That's it. The rest of the season has been clean. Thermal was really boring. Long Beach had some decent action, and we had Stingray Rob actually leading a race, not from pit cycles. So that was amazing. And then we've run over 300 straight laps of green flag, which is, I think, an IndyCar record.
Yes, that's incredible.
Yeah, so the first corner was very clean. The first few turns at Barber is a soft, I think like a 45-degree left into a wide sweeping, almost 180. So it's a pretty exciting opening sequence of corners, and the terrain makes it just a really rolling and fun course to drive.
Yeah, and he has that downhill braking into turn 5. It's a pretty solid track.
Unlike last year, it was clean going into turn 1. In order of the action, by lap 12, Palou had built up a 5-second barrier. So we already knew he was going to get out in front and leave. So he's going to win. The first real sign of anything happen was Newgarden almost wrecking Christian Rasmussen, forced him kind of off the road, braked. No wrecks there like we would have wanted, but a close call there. Everyone did a 3-stopper this race, which normally there's a mix of 2 and 3 stops. Everyone doing the 3 made it a pretty standard pit cycle. Palou led 81 of the 90 laps, and the 9 laps he didn't lead were because he was coming out of the pits.
Right.
That just shows you how dominant his win was today.
Practically a grand slam.
What else? Yep, it's pretty clean. Palou had gapped everybody already. Scott McLaughlin came in first in the pits. Did a kind of a nothing really exciting. Yeah, and then we had Colton Herda and Palou Ward both having pit lane issues on their second stops.
Herda just stalled. He was doing so good. He just passed Scotty Mack for second. He was showing great pace for the second place finish, and he just had yet another pit stop error. You just can't get something to go right. We need this guy to go 4th in the championship.
If he wants that Cadillac drive, he's gotta pick it up, man. Come on, Herda, get 4th.
Yeah. He's in 8th right now.
Yeah, lost his spot over last time.
9 points behind Palou Ward in the 4th spot.
At least it's close. But what's Palou's lead right now?
He's 60 points ahead of Lundgaard.
He's won the championship already. Great. Full Palou. You can take a break and just nap the whole rest of the season, let everybody else race. Christian Lundgaard showing excellent pace in that McLaren, getting past Award and all of his teammates, just surging up the fields and not having to use a ton of this push to pass, getting all the way up to second and then kind of running out of steam there because we had an just as fast perfect Palou up the road. So excellent performance from Christian Lundgaard. So he had 3 podiums in the last 4 seasons, and now he has 3 podiums in his first 4 races for Arrow McLaren. So it's a right driver, right team. He got in the right spot, and he is doing very good in his first year at Arrow McLaren. By the time we got to lap 53, there wasn't much going on. So the most interesting was Will Power complaining on the radio, which what's new? The man's been in IndyCar as long as I can remember, him and Scott Dixon. So I mean, of course, the old dudes are going to be complaining. Louis Foster had a close call on lap 58, sliding off the course, saved it, and we stayed green. And then on the 62, Santino Ferrucci did a similar thing, slid but saved it. Then ended up finishing 12th, so a lot of close calls. And then Flo won by 16 seconds. Rinus VeeKay put in an excellent performance, dragging that Dale Coyne to 4th, which is their best finish in a long, long time. So props to Rinus VeeKay.
Props to the 18 team of Rinus VeeKay. He qualified top 12 for the Indy 500 last year, and that was the last time he really showed great pace in anything. So it's good that he got a good result this time.
He gets my over, and Lundgaard would be a close runner-up for over there. So props to both of them.
My over for the race was definitely Lundgaard. He has been in a team that is built around Palou Award. He is performing incredibly well for Arrow McLaren and an IndyCar in general. It is just quite a performance from Christian Lundgaard. He is cooking in IndyCar.
Yes, he is. I think that pretty much clears up. I mean, not a super exciting race, but the action came from pure skill, it came from driver skill, which is always entertaining. The last bit of the race was exciting. We had the 4-5-6 battle between VeeKay, Power, and Award with back markers there thrown in the mix. It was made for a pretty exciting end. And then something else funny, Palou was joking that he was getting lonely up there in the front and finished the race deploying push to pass for a straight minute. It just shows you how far in front. He ended up with a 16-second lead at the end. Yeah, so this upcoming Saturday, we have the Indy road course race, so we'll bring you a review of that along with NASCAR next week. The order there will be pretty similar to here. Palou, either 1 or 2. One of Penske's will be up there, and one of the Arrow McLarens will be in the mix. Pretty standard, I think.
Yeah, seems about right. Palou is probably just going to win every race.
Yeah, at least all the road courses. We'll see what happens when we get to the ovals.
Yeah, Alex Palou does not do well on the ovals. I can tell you that. I think he was finished the last race of this last season a lap down.
That's Palou's kryptonite is driving in a circle. When there's a right turn, he's good. When it's just left turns, no. It's like Shane Van Gisbergen. Only good when you can turn right. All right, that's going to do it for this Indy review. If you like what you heard, follow, subscribe depending on your platform, comment or review, and be sure to join the Discord, which should be linked in the show notes. This is one of 3 episodes airing this week. Go check out our F1 review and our NASCAR review if you're interested. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.